Hello, my loves. You're welcome back to my channel. If you're stopping for the first time, you're highly welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. So in today's video, I'll be teaching you guys how to create this hoodie cap. And trust me, you'll love the process. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, please keep on watching and let's get started. So guys, all what you need is to bring the dress you'll be needing. For me, I'll be using this kaftan I just made. Alright, I'll go ahead and measure my round neck, the round neck of this kaftan from here to the other end. So I'll just go ahead and measure mine. Go ahead and do same to yours. So, and then for me, I have 19 inches. I have 19 inches. Alright, so go ahead and bring your pattern paper, and first thing you're going to do is to divide 19 inches by 2. Divide it by 2 plus extra 1 inch for seam allowance, and then go ahead and mark it there. I have 10 inches, so just go ahead and mark it there. 19 divided by 2 plus 1 inch for seam allowance. Alright, after that, the next thing I'm going to determine is the length of my hoodie cap. For me, I'll be using 15, but 17 works for most persons. For me, I'll be using 15 inches. And then what I have on this upper part, I'll go ahead and mark the same thing at the lower part of my pattern. So go ahead and mark yours, and then I'll go ahead and extend this with my rule. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and mark a straight line to connect the 2 points together. And so after I was done connecting the 2 points together, the next thing I will do right here will be to use my free hand to just curve in, or you can just come in from that line. You can just decide to come in by 3 or 3.5 or 4 inches. But for me, I'll just be giving this with my free hand. I'll just go ahead and curve this in. Alright, so go ahead and do yours, and then after that, this is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to also connect from this lower part about 1 inches downward, just like you've seen me do, and that's basically all. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to cut this out. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. Alright, so after I was done cutting this, I will just go ahead and transfer this to my fabric. So I'll just go ahead and transfer this to my fabric, and you make sure it unfold because we'll be needing 2 of this. So I'll go ahead and cut out on my fabric. Alright, just go ahead and place it like this and go ahead and cut it out. And then after that, you'll be having 2 pieces. And then when you're done cutting that, you go ahead and cut another one for another 2 pieces, because we'll be using this as both the main fabric and also the lining. We'll be using the same material as the lining. So all what we need all together is 4 pieces of this. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out, and then I'll also double it to have my 4 pieces for our lining. I hope you really understand. So in case you don't, just watch clearly to see what I am doing here. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and duplicate this. As you can see, this is 2. I'll go ahead and duplicate this. So after I was done, I have my 4 piece here, because I'll be using this as the main fabric and also my lining. So the next thing I'll go ahead to do right now will be to sew 1/2 inch on this curvy part from this end. From the beginning here, I'm going to sew 0.5 inches on this curvy part till I get to the end of this, and I'll also do the same thing for the lining piece. Go ahead and sew the same thing all the way to the end of the fabric. And so after I was done sewing that, this is what I have basically. I'm gonna have to sew my main fabric and my lining piece. Now go ahead and open it up and then match the center together, right side facing each other. And then when you match that, you're going to sew from the center downwards 0.5 inches, and then you do the same thing to the other side. Now make sure you don't finish the sewing. Before you get to the end of it, make sure you leave about ½ inch that you'll be using to join it on the neckline. I hope you understand. Once you're sewing from the top getting to the bottom, make sure you leave about ½ inch. Don't finish everything while sewing, just leave about ½ inch. I hope you understand. Now this is what I mean. After I was done sewing, I left about ½ inch. You can see we'll be using that ½ inch to join. Now this is what I have. After I was done, I went ahead to turn it. You can see how it is looking on the inside and also on the outside. So the next thing I'm going to do right now will be to bring my kaftan, and then I will notch the center back of my kaftan because we'll be starting from there to fixing our hoodie cap. Alright, I've gone ahead to notch mine already. This is the center of my cap. So I'm just going to bring the hoodie cap, and then I'll place it on the center by center, just like you see here, the one we already went ahead to join together. Open one piece of it, you can see what I'm doing, then match it just like this. Then you're going to sew it till you get to the end of this kaftan. Remember the ½ inch we left, that is what you're going to be using to join this. And then you do same to this other end, from here down to this end. I'll do that and I'll bring it back to show you. Now this is what I have. You can see how this is looking. So the last thing we are going to do now will be to run a top stitch using this other one here. Alright, and our cap is just ready. So go ahead and fold this in using that ½ inch. Fold it in like this and then place it on top, and then go ahead and run a top stitch to the end of the neckline. Hope you understand. So after I was done, basically this is what I have. You can see how beautiful this is looking. So thank you so much for watching. Bye, and see you in my next one.